This is where the fun begins.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel for another episode of Star Wars Questions. This time we're going to be talking about Supreme Leader Snoke. Suggested video, so that's what I'm going to talk about. Basically the question asked was, where did Snoke come from and how did he rise to power?
Darkness rises.
This is something that we don't really find out from the movies. It's not in the shows. You know, in Battlefront 2 it goes from the end of Episode 6 and then basically skips all the way to Episode 7. So we don't really get a lot of backstory in between. But we do know from a book that during Darth Sidious's reign, he felt a strong dark side presence calling out to him from what's called the unknown regions. The unknown regions were basically the farthest regions of space that no one really ever went there. Hardly anything was known about it. But Sidious felt this dark side presence calling to him, and we are led to believe that this presence was Supreme Leader Snoke. And so Sidious had a plan. Basically, if I am to die, the Empire, what's left of it, is going to go out to the unknown regions, which they did. And it was there that Snoke found them, or they found Snoke, and he basically reformed the Empire into the First Order. They came into the world that we know, the galaxies we know. Obviously we know the rest of his story. He found Kylo Ren, and he died. Of course, there are many theories about Snoke. You know, is he really dead? And I think a lot of this stuff should be answered in Episode 9. I know the trailer for that just came out, but I am not going to watch it because I don't watch trailers. I like to be surprised. The short answer to the question is, unfortunately, we don't really know much about Snoke. We know he's powerful, we know he's ancient. I suspect that he at least communicated with Sidious. We know he was calling out to him. We don't know if Sidious was ever able to respond, but I believe that they did. We know Force telepathy is a thing. We see the Skywalkers use it in Episode 5. We see Vader talking to Luke, Luke talking to Leia, and we see Rey and Ben Solo communicating in Episode 8 through the Force. There's a lot of similarities to the two. They both basically are in charge of an empire. They both are strong in the dark side of the Force, use Force lightning. Palpatine calls Luke
Young fool.
Snoke calls Rey
Young fool.
and pretty much, I mean, they're both old. You know, there's a lot of similarities between them, so I believe they will have at least had some sort of communication, even if they didn't intentionally know it. But that's all we know about the rise of power in the First Order. The remnants of the Empire forged together, with Snoke's riches, wealth, and power combined to create the First Order over the course of, 20 years. Then they came back into society and tried to take over the world.
Then we will crush them once and for all.
So, thank you for watching. I know this one wasn't really that helpful, but it was a suggested question, so I felt like I had to do it. I also had another suggestion to do the most powerful Jedi and Sith. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that one yet, just because that is more opinion, depending on the scenario, who would beat who kind of thing. But if you really would like that, I can do it. I would have to do a little bit more research. I know there's been dozens of videos made about that already. Otherwise, if you have any other more suggestions, please let me know in the comments. I like getting suggestions. I like doing these videos. They're fun, they're quick, they're easy, and I get to talk about Star Wars, which is like my thing. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, shoot first.